Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Right, so it's time for the abnormal skins. We have 6 abnormal skins today. We have the likes of the Redemption AR, the Capybara Furnace, Bombshell Armador, we have the Gold Poncho, and the Space Foil Hoodie and Pants. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to figure out prices to offer for all of these skins, because we need to kind of figure out how likely are they going to potentially retain their value and what potentially is on the horizon to give them a bit of a boost, some positive outlook. And then, of course, once we're done with that, we can go ahead and figure out the prices for what we're going to do for the skins that will become marketable tomorrow, the regular skins. Because these skins right here, they don't become marketable until the next Rust store has rotated in, if that makes sense. Whereas these skins will be appearing earlier at a specific set time, which will be about 3 hours from now, 1 o'clock in the morning UK time. So, shall we get started? Let's start talking about the Redemption AR. So, this only did 28,000 sales. Maybe there is more. Remember, SCMM cannot track every single account that is, has Rust skins. So there might be a private account out there with maybe 1,000 of them. But just looking at this, I was expecting, with it being a cheaper price, it being an AK, I thought this was potentially going to get close to around 40,000 sales. Nope. And in terms of the sales, when we compare it to the other Redemption skins, it might end up, well, actually, it looks like it's going to be the second most bought one. It's only slightly pipped the SAR, but this was at a cheaper price. This is the cheapest skin compared to all of these. These all sold for $3. This didn't, $2.49. So, right, so, a bit awkward. We also should be aware that AKs can be a bit awkward. We have so many AK skin acceptances, it's ridiculous. So when you look at just this year, what you see is, oh, hello Morbid, sit back and relax, I'm talking about Rust skins at the moment. What you see here is not a very good outlook at an initial glance. Quite a lot of these AKs, well, pretty much all of them are in the negative, and quite a lot of them are down to around $1. But when you see the likes of the Kiss AR right here, bright and pink, it's very unique in its colour scheme, probably half the reason why it's currently happily in the positive. You can kind of understand that most of these just kind of aren't that very interesting to look at. Arctic Skull is a little bit okay because, of course, it's like a budget option in comparison to the likes of the Comics AR, which is quite expensive. So give it some time, that very likely could rebound in price later on in the year. But when we look at this Redemption AR, guys, I mean, let's be honest, looks very nice, shiny, sleek in design. It's got a very useful red tip for the aim sight. I think this will be doing quite all right, and much like the rest of the Redemptions collection, retain its value, stay comfortably in the positive. When times are better, go even higher in price. Will we potentially see any more Redemption skins after this? Well, don't forget, always check the workshop, read the comments, see what the skin creator himself says, and I have reason to believe it's going to continue. Well, I'll give you a little hint. Yes, we are going to see some more Redemption skins. I know that for sure. So we are going to be seeing some more being submitted in the near future. So in the future, we're very likely potentially going to see those being accepted. Fingers crossed we start seeing some deployables or clothing and armor, Mr. Slanoster. Right. So maybe, possibly. I'm going to sit here and say, I think we probably want to push it a little bit high. As you can see, the Redemption skins, they're all comfortably in the positive. Only the Redemption M249 is a little bit lower in price. You know what? Let's go take a look at it. Let's see how you're doing. So right now, you're currently selling for £2.16, which is equal to about $2.73. And you know what? There is all of these, right? So it came out fairly recently. M249s are a little bit awkward in terms of gun demand. How likely you actually get in the game going to be able to grab a hold of one and use it? Does that justify owning a skin to apply to it? You get the idea. Whilst we're currently in the bad times, because of course with the likes of the summer sale and of course the 75% discount with the Paris 2023 capsules, this isn't too bad. It's not bad at all, really. It's kind of retaining, it's close to its Rust store price, and that's the main thing that we care about. And when times are a whole lot better, it's going to potentially go even further above and beyond. So, yeah, we could actually do some very strong buy orders for this, knowing that in the future, this is very likely potentially going to be one of the go-to weapons. Weapon options. What am I trying to say? Options, affordable, go-to skin options for our beloved AKs. Yes. And we do know we're very likely to be seeing some more skins, so all the more potential investment towards the whole set as a whole. So I think we're potentially going to be going for about $1.50. You know what? $1.50 to $2 is probably the best shout. Maybe even a little bit higher. This does look like it very likely will be retaining its value. Maybe it will slightly go below its trusted price a little bit, much like the M249. Or maybe it'll just always stay above, or at the very least retain its value. And when we get towards the end of this year, or maybe around August, it'll go up in price and pretty comfortably. The likes of the SAR. The SAR has retained its value, and it sold a very similar amount. So, yeah. Now, if you know, in regards to, I guess you could say the meta, or quite literally the statistics, when it comes to weapons that get used most, or based on amount of damage that they do in all of Rust, that Face Punch themselves managed to grab with the statistics, AK's first and SAR is second. And if the SAR skin is still retaining its value, very likely you'll see the AK very likely retain its value as well. So $1.50 to $2. Maybe if you want to be a little bit more aggressive, you could probably push it up a little bit more. But this right here, I do think we'll be retaining and later in the future going a fair bit above and becoming a quite nice positive, a nice profit. So I do think this is going to be pretty good. But with the current bad times, it's probably going to take a while for it to actually gradually become a nice profit. So I'm keeping an eye on that one. That does look good. And as I said, if you want to kind of go all the way up to the price, try and get them for about 20 pennies cheaper if you really want to, the option's there for you. But it could potentially be a skin we consider buying. So keep that in mind. Capybara Furnace, probably one of the goofiest furnace skins we've ever had. So, yeah. Get a good look at him. Do you want to always have him in your base? Are you always going to want to have a Capybara Furnace? You never know. At some point in the future, we might get an even goofier Furnace. Let's not rule that out. But, again, we now have to consider what's potentially coming in the future. And this week, we already know. I have something to show you. Yeah. We got Capybara Tier 3 armor. And, it's a fair bit goofy. Keke, the skin creator, he's going to be making some more Capybara skins. Now, from a glance, when I first looked at it, I actually thought this was like monkey clothes. But no, that's a Capybara. So, finally, Ruskin enjoys. You finally get to dress up as animals in Rust. Aren't you happy? Aren't you pleased? Finally you are your true selves, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy yourselves. Be like a cool capybara, I guess. It's up to you. So, more capybara skins are very likely going to be made, and the wackiness ain't going to stop. It's potentially going to go even higher. So if you're a fan of the goofiness that is Capybara set, I wouldn't be surprised if we potentially see some more being submitted. There's a fairly decent chance you might potentially see some being accepted. Can't guarantee if it's going to be 100% accepted, but it's up to Face Punch really. Okay, prices. So by default, I'm a little bit cautious. So I'm going to go with a $1 buy order, and then I'm going to push it maybe up to about, I'm going to say $1 to $1.50. I am cautious about this. Again, there's something that I'm always fully aware of, and it's during the year, furnaces tend to drop off. And right now, if we take a look at all of the furnaces that came out this year, only one of them's doing all right, the Abyss Furnace. And that's part of a well-established, very nice deployable collection. This is down 28, this is down 33, this is down 33, this is down 49, this is down 18. Remember the Frog Rock? Remember how we used to look at that and think that was really goofy and we thought it was funny? Well, he ain't looking too good at the moment, is he? So, $1 to $1.50. If you want to play extra safe, stick with $1. If you want to push it a little bit more, consider going all the way up to about $1.50. But, my main caution is, will we always consider this goofy? Maybe there might be another skin in the future that could be even goofier and might make us laugh even harder. But at the moment, people clearly do like him. And I think $1 to $1.50 probably would be pretty alright. So that's my current answer. Bombshell Armored Door. Right. I am very surprised that this has just gone over 20,000 now. Like, very, very surprised. So if you aren't fully aware, this of course is a TGG skin. And to our surprise, quite recently, or, you know, over the past recent skins that he's had accepted, or rather he's, you know, submitted, with all of his doors, they've had some see-through mesh. And it's very rare to see those doors, the garage door and the likes of the double armored door. You're very likely never going to see any other doors in the future with see-through mesh like that. In regards to the garage doors, we have seen some other Twitch drops which had like some see-through mesh, but I just don't think we're going to see the same thing in regards to the double doors and the single armored door. Could happen. It could happen maybe as a Twitch drop, maybe, but at the moment, out of all of the armored doors, only 2 doors have a see-through hatch, and of course, we've already explained this many times. When you look at the highest price, guess what? It's the other armored door that has the see-through hatch. This is $136. This is $2.49. I don't think it's going to stay at $2.49 again. I very much think, like, I really do think we're going to see the exact same thing happen with what we saw in regards to the double armored door. Now, if you aren't fully aware of what happened to the likes of the double armored door, let me enlighten you. In fact, I'll just show you the other 2 doors. So we have garage door and bombshell double armored door. Now, when this was in the Rust store, I quite literally made a short video. I said, guys, look, I highly doubt we're ever going to see another double armored door being accepted anytime soon. As in, this very likely is going to be the only double armored door skin that will be submitted and accepted out of all of this year. So far, I'm correct. And I did say this very likely won't be affected by the CSGO major. It wasn't. And it's just plotted along very nicely. And now it's currently selling at $7. This sold for the exact same price as the single armored door, $2.49, 3 months ago. This came out, what, just before April? Was it March time? Yeah, just before April. 3 months ago. This is ridiculous. And half the reason why it rose up in price very nicely is because of TikTok. And you can probably see the jumps in price. Yeah, I believe this was around when the first one appeared, and then we had another one around here somewhere. So basically, TikTok happened. And you see it a whole lot more easily on the likes of the garage door. And we've already explained this, haven't we? We've seen 2 notable TikTok videos talking about the garage door with certain words such as pay to win being utilized. And, well, what do we see? Two notable spikes in demand, spikes in price. TikTok video made, doubles in price. TikTok video made, doubles in price. Ridiculous, but it happened. And since then, they've retained their value. So, point is, these had features on TikTok videos from people with high view counts that caused and influenced many people to jump in and go and buy all of those skins, and now they're both sitting at $7 each. Do you honestly think that the exact same thing won't happen to this? Come on now. Let's be honest, we know it's going to happen. So, bombshell armored door, based on the amount of sales, really does not look like people bought this in excess. I'm actually considering just straight up buying some. Now, I did straight up buy 200 bombshell double armored doors. And I'm looking at that now and I'm thinking, you know what? I'm probably going to do the same with this. Even before we've even done the buy orders. But still, I'm going to do my buy orders first, then I'm going to make the consideration. But the consideration is mainly going to be, how many am I going to buy? Rather, am I going to buy? Because I really do feel somewhat confident buying these. So, in terms of the buy orders, guys, if you want to play it safe, I don't know, $1.50, but if you want to just go for it, $2.20, maybe $2.30, screw it, just try and get them for about 20 or 30 pennies cheaper, but never remove that buy order, keep it forever. Because honestly, I imagine this door, I think it's going to be special, affordable, but after a good while, it probably will be doubling in price and maybe more. But it's still a whole lot cheaper compared to the $136 incarceration armored door. That right there is probably one of the safest things I've seen to consider buying. Now, again, if you still aren't 100% sure, like I said, $1.50, you could go up to maybe $2. Yeah, sure, that's fine. But I think a lot of people are fully aware that this is probably going to be a very, very, very nice long-term investment. All right? Okay, cool. Right then. So at some point, you mentioned it there. Maybe we'll see a sheet door or maybe a sheet double door at some point. Okay? All right, cool. So That right there, I think we're going to go pretty aggressive on that. I think I am going to just go $2.20, maybe $2.30 on it, because I really do feel like it's going to be something worthwhile. And yeah, with all of that support it's going to have, it's very easily potentially going to be retaining that $2.50 price. So it is really a matter of how long until we potentially see that TikTok video being made. And even then, it doesn't need a TikTok video. The whole notoriety of having that see-through hatch is definitely going to pass around with word of mouth. I mean, I'm pretty sure most people are fully aware that that, technically speaking, quote-unquote, is a pay-to-win skin. So, yeah. All right. Let's move on. We have clothing and armor to talk about. Gold poncho. Right, so this appeared and we were very surprised. I mean, when we see a skin with only one picture, rarely do we ever expect it to actually be accepted. Lo and behold, this was accepted. So, quite recently, we are also fully aware that Demon, the skin creator, actually went ahead and made gold hide shirt and pants. This happened. Okay, so, will this be accepted? I really don't think Face Punch will accept fully golden primitive clothing. I really don't think it's going to happen. I would be very, very surprised if they did. Alright? I can't rule it out that they won't do it. I would just be very, very surprised if they actually did. So, okay. Even though this has been, produced and it's on the workshop, I'm still not 100% convinced. And now, right here, this is a $2.49 skin. In terms of all the ponchos, let's go take a look. Let's quickly read. Newest ones. Actually, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to look at the highest estimated total supply. And what you can see here is, out of all of the quote-unquote modern ponchos, all of the ponchos that have come out since the release of the Arctic Camo ponchos, there's like 12 of them, this is the second lowest selling one, alright? So immediately, that's a bit of a positive. Clearly, there isn't a whole bunch of purchases in excess. But I just don't think people are looking at this and thinking, oh wow, this is something I'm definitely going to want to jump in and wear. Like, okay, cool, it's a golden poncho, very nice, very cool, but it's also very shiny, and I don't think people are going to greatly appreciate that. I don't think the novelty of it being all gold is going to stick around forever. And I just don't imagine that the skins that have been made in continuation of it are likely to be accepted. So, I just don't know, really. I think I'm just going to stick with playing it safe. I honestly think I'm probably just going to stick with maybe doing $1 to maybe $1.50. Yeah, that's what I'm personally thinking. Because I just don't think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be pretty. Now, the fact that it hasn't sold that much potentially could leave it for it potentially to be manipulated at some point. You never know. I just don't imagine people looking at that and thinking, oh yeah, I really want to wear that. We've got a lot of ponchos that have come out over the past year. I think people already have a solid option for what they want to use. So, yeah, gold poncho, I'm not confident. $1 to $1.50. And now comes the real thinking part, because I have been talking about Space Forward hoodie and pants for quite some time. Most notably, I had a video dedicated talking about it. So a good few days ago, we had a proper look at this. Low demand skins. So dealing with low demand skins, are they still profitable? And I basically talked about the Space Forward hoodie and pants as an example, because the main question is, right now, you can clearly see they've only done 8,000 sales. After nearly a whole week, only 8,000 sales. In your head right now, you're probably thinking, well, of course, these are low demand. Surely they're not going to be profitable. Well, here's the thing. It might not seem to be very in demand right now, but of course, things can appear in the future that could potentially cause a spike in demand and a spike in price. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. We have seen being submitted this past weekend Space Foil Tier 3. This is another core piece. All core pieces being hoodie and pants, Tier 2 armor and Tier 3 armor. When a new core piece is accepted, all pre-existing core pieces tend to spike in demand and spike in price by quite a lot. So, yeah, you understand now. If this were to be accepted, suddenly this is actually a good investment. Suddenly this is probably selling for maybe $3 or $4. And pair that with the fact that hardly any of them are sold, means not that many of them likely have been bought in excess. I mean, if we actually click this SMM can see that next to no one's bought more than 10 based on all the accounts it can see. What about the pants? Yeah. Now, when you look at the likes of the AK here, what do you see? 100, 62, 38. You see a whole lot more people. So, yeah. This is a coin flip. How much do you potentially trust that we actually might see the tier 3 being accepted? Right now, they are $2 each. Do you want to play it safe and stick with a price of about $1? $1 would very likely be a very nice, reasonably safe option. Do you want to push it a little bit higher? Do you want to offer a fair bit higher? Do you want to potentially go up to maybe, I don't know, maybe $1.30, 40 maybe even $1.50? I personally don't really want to do that, but I am fully well aware that we do know that the tier 3 has been, submitted. Will it be accepted? Will Facepunch look at the sales that these two skins did and think, you know what, yeah, let's do tier 3 as well? Would the low sales probably dissuade Facepunch from wanting to continue the set? If you can understand what I'm talking about here. Bit awkward. I don't know. I really, really don't know. It's very, very awkward. And of course, remember, when we're waiting for last week's skins to appear, we were waiting for the likes of Whiteout Collection, Elite Crate, Comics Collection have appeared. No, none of them. Spacefall instead. And the Poncho. So, yeah, personally, I'm probably just going to stick with $1 and maybe a fair bit slightly above. But if I don't see that Spacefall Tier 3 appear within the next 2 Rust stores, I'm probably going to pull the highest buy order I have. And then, yeah, I am unsure. So, okay. I've addressed all of the context. And based on the performance I saw the likes of the low poly set, initially, the low poly set, which sold at $2.49, the hoodie and pants I'm talking specifically about, at its lowest point that it was before, it spiked up in demand because the tier 3 was accepted. I believe it was around $1 to $1.30 or something. So, yeah. I guess we might potentially see the exact same thing happen to likes of these. But, yeah. I don't want to dawdle on this for too long. I've basically said what I need to say. I think we might potentially see a continuation, but I also don't fully believe it's going to happen. So, yeah. And now that we've addressed all of that, right, I just want to I feel like it's a very good time to just quickly point out tomorrow's Rust Store, which is going to coincide with the Abyss update. So the Abyss update, July 6th, will be appearing. We're going to be getting a new monument. Tugboats are going to be introduced. And, of course, there's going to be a Hazmat DLC, a Divers Hazmat DLC. We actually know that 7 skins have already been accepted for that Rust Store tomorrow. Right here, you can see it in the accepted section. 7 skins. If you're hoping to see a continuation of one of these skins potentially appearing tomorrow, for example, I don't think that's going to happen. You'd really have to hope it's going to be next week. And if they don't appear next week, it's probably safe to just assume it's not happening. And you could instantly back out. So be aware of that. Tomorrow, we already know 7 of these skins have been accepted. Maybe we'll see an extra couple more being added to this tomorrow. Not fully sure. But yeah, 7 aquatic theme skins have already been accepted. They've been accepted since Sunday. We still think there potentially might be some more being added tomorrow. We shall see. But don't assume you're likely going to see these tomorrow, okay? Don't assume it's going to happen. I mean, it could. Just don't hold your hopes up. All right? Sound good? Right. Now we can talk about the regular skins. And Pythonana. Pythonana just did under 12,000 sales at the moment. And I'll be honest with you, it likely will be going low. I've lost my tongue. Blah, 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 blah. I can't tell. Okay, look at this, right? It's bright, it's yellow, it's in the shape of a banana, but this went down by 52%, this went down by 52%, this went down by 52%. Well, that's weird, isn't it? This went down by 45%. The only Python skin that has done all right over the past 2 years is the Blackout Python, and that's part of the Blackout set. And it also has some very special aim sight tweaks, like it's got some transparency so you can see a little bit more. So that's special, right? Is this special enough for you? It's a bit awkward. And then when you look at all of the other banana skins that have come out recently, yeah, the bad times have quite badly affected them. Will we see some more banana skins being accepted at some point in the future? I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I fully believe we're going to see some more being submitted. I fully believe we're going to see some more being accepted. I really do think that's going to happen. Will that potentially have a nice positive impact on the Pythonana? I can't guarantee that. So looking at the Pythonana, I do think it's going to be doing better than the other Pythons, but I still think it's going to go below its Rust door price. I'm probably going to do between $1 to $1.40. Yes, that's going to be my answer. Yeah, so I think the idea of the banana set is pretty fun, but I just don't imagine it's always going to guarantee for it to be a safe option. So, yeah. And then we have the likes of the Rampage wooden door. Guys, 60 cents to 80 cents. We do not bother with we just don't bother with wooden doors. Like, wooden doors are very, 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 very not good as investments. Yeah. Not good. The only time we ever see a wooden door do quite all right if it's getting pumped. Do you remember this door last year when it came out for Christmas and hardly anyone bought it, and then suddenly it's selling for about $8? That was because of a pump. Actually, I can show you that. Look at its weird history. Yeah. That sold at one point for about $13 a piece. And then, of course, when the support for the pump disappeared, the price crashed and burned. So, yeah. I wouldn't rely on a pump. So that's it. That's basically everything. We've addressed everything to you. We've pointed out how there are some skins potentially in the future. But of course, tomorrow's Rust door is pretty much already basically figured out. Maybe. So, of course, I recently did my Rust Workshop skin checks, which you can see right here. We have this collection right here with all the newest skins. Maybe some of these skins potentially might get picked out as an early pick. Like, there are some more aquatic skins. Puffer Rock. Yeah, come on. Go on, Face Punch. You know you want him. Maybe we'll see the Cat Rock from last week. This cat's going to eat all the fish. Maybe. We did have also the likes of pirate skins. Where are they? Pirate gloves and boots. That's aquatic enough, I'm sure. Screw it. At that, I think that actually might have a decent chance. It could happen. Go give us the Puffer Rock and the pirate gloves and boots. I don't think anybody would be upset with that. So, yeah, we could potentially see some more skins. We could potentially see some extra skins be added to that. So, yeah, maybe. Anyway, so we should focus the fact that this is all about buy orders. So why don't we skip ahead for those buy orders? 6 skins to chase after today, chat. Let's see what happens. Alright then, people, here we are. I'm going to be focusing the armored door first and then the AK second. It is now 1 o'clock in the morning. It is time to start chasing after the skins when they feel like appearing. So, do you reckon we're going to see some perfectly legitimate buy orders that are going to appear within a nanosecond? What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Perfectly legitimate human-made buy orders within a microsecond, a nanosecond, a teeny tiny small space of time that's definitely humanly possible. Right? Now, when? Anyway, what's going on? Where is it? I definitely... Uh-oh. Oh, there we are. All right, 1,000 buy orders. Yep, that's normal. Cool. And over to here, diddly-doo, diddly-da. What's the answer? I probably refreshed far too much. Okay, that's happened. Here we are. Right, so okay. Might be a little bit late on this one, just a bit. It is what it is. So, damn. Well, the other stuff hasn't appeared yet. That's odd. Huh. Oh, there you go. So this exists. I seem to be having some issues here, so why don't I just skip ahead and then we'll look at the barter support afterwards, so. Alright, gentlemen, we're back. So, it's been about 20 minutes since we did those buy orders, and things are going to be a little bit weird when you see the pages in a second. Steam is behaving quite weirdly at the moment. Now, I know more specifically, CSGO skins can't be sold properly at the moment. Rust seems to be all right, but we still have some weird issues, and you're about to see it right now. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the abnormal biota support. So, yeah, this is what we're working with. Apparently, it doesn't recognize any sales at the moment. I don't know. But what I do know is my God. Hey, do you remember that thing I talked about, how there's a pretty good chance this is going to have enough support to probably consider maybe going ahead and actually buying these? Yeah, yeah. The buy orders go all the way up to $2.47. Yeah. And then if you remove that buy order, it goes up to $2.42. And when you remove that buy order, it goes up to $2.34. So, guys, look at me. I think it's probably okay to consider buying this armored door. Now, based on what we see here, 3,444 requests to buy, and by time tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised if we see even more. I think it's looking pretty safe. There's a 600 quantity buy order here at $2.20. I have reason to believe that this very likely will be retaining its value for quite some time. I guess what I'm going to say is the only way is up. Like, yeah, I can't imagine many things that could potentially cause problems for it to potentially go down in price. At worst, it might stagnate for a while, kind of stay at this price for quite some time. But again, remember what I said: TikTok video suddenly up. So, yeah. You could probably go ahead and buy some of these right now if you really wanted to. It really does look like it's probably not too bad of an idea. Now, if you still want to insert yourself with a buy order, just know that there's a big line, there's a big queue. So yeah, if you really don't think, I'm going to have to wait a long time to be able to buy these at $2.40, yeah, you're probably just better off buying these at $2.49 straight from the Rust store. Right here, wow. So, yeah, those quantities, let's just go take a real quick look. Apparently, there is just under 21,000. I wouldn't be surprised if we probably see quite a lot of purchases now. Maybe it might push up to about maybe 22 or 23,000 maybe now. Again, I would not be surprised, and I don't blame people. The buy order support on this is just magnificent. So yeah, this looks very confident. I'm very confident to sit here and say it looks like it's going to retain its value. And yeah, and don't worry about this buy order. That's my first buy order. I use 2 accounts to do buy orders on. So my second buy order is around, I think I actually might be involved in this bit. I think people might have copied what I did, or I'm over here. It's either one of this or this, so we'll see what happens. So yep, that's the Bombshell Armador. Let's now move on to the Redemption AR. Redemption AR is actually looking pretty good in its own way as well. This is a $2.49 skin, over 2,000 requests to buy, and the buy orders go all the way up to $2 for, again, this is another one. This actually looks okay to consider buying. Yeah, I see no fault here. This has a lot of buy orders, and as you can see, a lot of support pushing all the way up to and above $2. If you really wanted to, you could go ahead and put down like a $2.40 buy order and potentially buy some of these for 9 cents cheaper. But yeah, this is another $2.49 skin. Guys, honestly, if you really want it, you could probably just go ahead and buy it from the Rust store. Like, as I said, when I first saw this, and it being at a cheaper price, initially I thought, you know what, that very likely will be selling maybe about up to around 40,000 sales. Nope, didn't happen. If we go back over to here, what do we see? It's currently at 28,300. In the grand scheme of things, in the long term, I honestly think that's going to be doing pretty all right. I really do feel like this AK-47, it might stagnate for a while. That very likely could happen, but I think around post-Christmas time, when we see a lot more people playing, get a good look at this. When we see a lot more people playing, and June did have a lot of people, 91,000 people average for the whole month. That's ridiculous. That's December time. That beat December time. That beat February. Madness, isn't it? So anyway, sticking with what I'm trying to say, I really do feel like we're going to see the likes of the AK doing pretty all right towards the end of the year. And by then, I think we're going to have a whole lot more redemption skins. So if you are a fan of the Redemption Collection, and if you think it's just going to keep getting more and more acceptances, honestly, in the position that we currently see, yeah, that looks pretty well held up. That actually looks like it's a good time to actually consider maybe going ahead and buying some. If you really want to buy, you can still do a buy order. If you're not too fussed about waiting, maybe it's all right. Could we potentially see any future bad times? Don't forget, towards the end of October, we do tend to see quite a big dip in prices around then, so that's something we could be a little bit cautious of. Could we potentially see the likes of Source 2 taking away a whole bunch of people, and suddenly with less people playing Rust, the prices might go down? That could also be a problem. That's all theories and guessing and whatnot, so yeah. At the moment, at this current time, that buy order support gives me confidence to consider actually going ahead and buying some. So that is my answer. Now we have the likes of the Capybara Furnace. This is currently selling for $1.99, and the buy orders are going all the way up to $1.50. Over 1,000 requests to buy. It's doing all right. Like, this is what I suggested. I am not surprised to see that the price is sat around here. If we do keep seeing more Capybara skins being accepted, there's a fairly decent chance that this is going to get more in demand, and, well, yeah. Remember the Abyss collection. Abyss Furnace is doing wonderfully at the moment because it's part of a well-established deployable collection. We haven't seen many recent attempts for an Abyss skin. I'm not sure if Little Ranger, the skin creator's taken a break from it. But, yeah, even then, it's still doing good. And this guy right here, probably one of the goofiest skin ideas I've ever seen being accepted. Will it hold? Will people still be fascinated and wanting to put it in their base? We shall see. Hopefully it doesn't end up like the Frog Furnace. Hopefully. So best of luck to you, Capybara Furnace. Let's now take a look at the likes of the Space Foil Pants. And yeah, people are somewhat confident in the set. People do feel like there's a decent chance we might see that Tier 3 being accepted. Who knows? We'll find out, won't we? So, yep, Space Foil Hoodie and Pants. Here we are. Here we see the pants currently going all the way up to about $1.30. Will it hold? Probably. Probably. I don't know. But I look forward to finding out. Yep, that will be my answer. The main thing is, will we actually see more Space Force skins being accepted? If not, I could imagine this taking a bit of a sharp turn and going down in price pretty steeply, pretty quickly. Independently, I just don't think there's enough interest in the likes of the Space 4 Hoodie and Pants for them to retain their value. We need to see more. We need to see Tier 3 and Tier 2 appear and be accepted. So, and then over to here, pretty much the exact same thing. Over 1,000 requests to buy, and the build-up is pretty much exactly the same. Lots of nice buy orders, but the main thing we're concerned about is, will we actually see more of the set being accepted? So, just got to wait and see. And then Gold Poncho, your buy orders, you're going all the way up to about $1.75, but the bulk of the buy orders is around $1. Yeah. So, will it hold? This has the lowest buy orders compared to everything else. Yes. Gold Poncho, I'm not really confident in you, to be honest. But you never know. But I'll be honest with you, I just don't think Face Punch is going to want to have golden primitive skins. I just don't imagine it's going to work like... No, I don't think so. I think it's a bit too much. I think it's a bit... What's the word to say? A bit of a dissonance? What type of dissonance would it be? Like, you know, okay, these are like the rags types of skins, like something you've kind of put together from nature, because of course you killed an animal to get all these rags. Why would it be coloured gold? Yes, I know some skins are ridiculous. I get it, but, you know, a hoodie and some pants, they could be manufactured to be that way, to be all goofy, but not a hide shirt and pants, let alone a poncho, so... It's a juxtaposition between poverty and wealth. It's social commentary. It's modern art. Shut up. It's a skin. It's pixels. So, yeah, I don't know. Me being indecisive and not really being sure of what's likely to happen, I don't know. So, I guess we're just going to have to leave it at that. So, that's the buy order support. We have two... Oh, well, that was the... Discord there. Where are we going? We're going over here. We're going back over to here. So, yes, this skin and this skin really do look like a pretty good idea to consider buying into at the moment. You never know. We might look tomorrow and see this has 40,000 sales then. This also has 40,000 sales. But it does look pretty positive. The bar to support on both of them look very strong, and it looks perfectly fine to consider. Like, it's a safety net, you know. If we go through bad times, there's a lot of buy orders to keep that price up still, isn't there? It might fall, but it won't fall that far. Trustful, hey, I'm not going that far, hey. So there's a big, strong foundation to keep those prices up. And from here and now, as we go, steer towards better times, during those better times, those prices will potentially go up even higher. That's the hope. So, yeah, that's basically it. Now, don't forget, tomorrow's Rust store has effectively already been figured out. 7 skins here. Could we see some more? That's the main question. Fingers crossed we do see some more. I'd like to see some more. And with the skins that were submitted this week, I guess we could potentially see some early picks. That could happen. So again, I do repeat, if you want to get a good idea, we already had someone ask earlier about, Hedge, how do I learn about the economy? So yeah, that's my Rust Economy 101. It's a playlist. If you want to consider learning about the Rust Economy from scratch, well, that's the option. But yeah, back over to here. My skin checks video, you can go here and you can click the link to get a good look at all the newest skins. And as I said, we do have the likes of some very cool looking rock skins, and we potentially could maybe see the continuation of the pirate collection with those leather gloves and boots. And then there's still a few odd skins here that are all referenced to like underwater stuff. Here we are, like these stone tools here. I thought they looked pretty cool. Yeah, maybe that would be a good shout. Stone tools. Haven't had some of those for a while. So yeah, please consider, giving that a watch. It's nice and insightful and gets you in a good the right mindset to be aware of what's, constantly being put out every week, and you could probably make some moves with it. So yeah, that's what we're seeing tomorrow. And with tomorrow's Rust store, because of course we have the Abyss update coming out, a big update. It's also Force White. I would expect that we're going to see the update come out. No, I would expect the Rust store. I expect the Rust store to rotate between 6 to 7 p.m. tomorrow in the UK. So wherever you are in the world, compare it to UK time, I'm expecting an early Rust store rotation. I'm expecting between 6 to 7 p.m. I will be on stream. I'll be ready and prepared for such a thing. But yeah, that is my current expectation. No 100% guarantees, but yeah. It usually happens. It usually happens earlier when it's a day with a big update. And tomorrow seems to be a reasonably big update with the new monument and whatnot. So, yeah. I hope you'll enjoy yourself. Chat, do you have any questions? Can't wait for the new double door skin next week. I mean, tomorrow, Phil. Tomorrow. And yeah, by default, that's a double sheet metal door right there. We've got quite a lot to talk about that. Don't we? Yeah. Right. On buy orders, why do the buying amount change on different currencies? Because your currency is constantly changing compared to dollars every single day, mate. And Steam follows. Ever since we had that problem with Argentinian pesos with CSGO capsules, Valve has stepped up and really changed how Steam works. Because there used to be a lot of currency exploits, whether it was CSGO or TF2, where you could buy the skins instantly, capsules and whatnot, and then sell them instantly to the highest buy orders. And because these currencies were so weak, they would still make a profit selling to those highest buy orders. So yeah, that's what caused all of that. USD 220, but then it's only 400. I don't know. I don't know, Warhead. We'll have to talk more about that some other time. It seems your question is actually a little bit more advanced. So yeah. Anybody else with a question? I think we're all done. I might have been stalling for quite a lot this time. I don't mean to. My apologies, but yeah, I keep saying, "What's going on, chat?" No, they're okay. Right. So you have a lovely day tomorrow. Consider buying those skins, and yeah, I'm pretty sure we got a pretty interesting future. What's going to go on with these? How many new skins potentially might we see tomorrow? And will the new update be enjoyable? It's going to turn Rust into battleships, isn't it? It's going to turn Rust into battleships, and that actually might be very, very, very fun. Time to go buy all of that pirate gear and start sailing the high seas. Alright. Well, I mean, of course you could do that around oil rig. You could just keep stealing everybody's booty. Yes, all of their delicious-looking skins and items and weapons and whatnot. Fork them over or walk the plank. Why am I doing this? It's late. I need to sleep. I'll catch you later. Bye.